at the dump site level. You explained that their cash books would be maintained by the collectors. So do they do the retirement at the end of every day, or is it every week? What is the retirement structure, and to whom do they retire to?
Yes, so this is which raised concerns for me. We record the daily sales, everybody at the site, from dump supervisors, myself, and the cashiers, we all know what's the daily sales, and this is being recorded. So once this is being recorded, I don't have a problem, because people know. So they come, oh, today we sold this, today we sold this. This is normally how it's done. But once it's being sold, it's supposed to be deposited directly to the bank. That's what I know. Like, it's very simple. The cashiers can just walk to this place and deposit. But somehow, to my amazement, this is not done. So sometimes I will see my boss pass by, oh, Kemo, you're doing very well at the dump site. And then they will collect the daily sales in lieu to deposit it at our cashier. The next time it will be from Lamin F. Baji, it will be Bakari Singate. Singate will also pass by, oh, the daily sales have closed, so they will collect the sales for yesterday while we are closing for today. So this is normally how it's done. So when I ask the cashiers, did you give the sale? Sometimes they have to come and even collect it on the very day itself, not to allow the cash to slip at the cashiers. So I assume, okay, this is going, since they are not even avoiding this to be slipping in the cashier's hand, is definitely going into our coffers. So this collection was constant, either from Lamin F. Baji or from Bakari Singate, and Lamin Sanyang, maybe one incident or so, he also came to pick. But these are the three people who were collecting this cash from the cashiers to be deposited into Jonga's account.
Just to remind us, who are these three individuals? You said the first name is Lamin?
Lamin F. Baji is Deputy Director of Services at that time. And Bakari Singate is Project Manager 1. And then Lamin Sanyang was the Director of Services, our overall boss.
But what you believe should have been done is to, after the collections for the day, the money can be paid directly to the bank by the collectors themselves.
Yes.
That probably would minimize money
going into different hands,
and minimize the risk of corruption.
Yes.
So you were not comfortable with the idea that the money was not really going to the bank directly from the collector?
The dump site, yes.
Yes, to the bank. So did you raise this issue?
No, I didn't.
Is there any reason why you did not?
Because I just started working, and then there was no case to kind of mistrust anyone. Council has a cashier. So normally the cashiers there are supposed to go down there and deposit the money to council. So whether bank or not, for me, the idea is that the money is being deposited. I was fine with it. And these are my bosses, so I kind of have that trust and confidence to say, okay, let them deposit, because they have vehicles. So sometimes I'll pity the cashiers to pay their fares, go all the way down there. So it was really okay in my mind that, okay, this, since it's being signed for, I don't think that they would be, they would be naive enough to do anything, something that they took from us and signed. So for me, I was okay once they collected. It wasn't something that I had issue. Until the end, when I realized, okay, this quarter we've been working, what have we done so far? Just out of the blue, I wanted to understand how we do. So I took the cash book and started to input the monthly sales, because everyone at council was like, oh, good work, the dump site, the funds have increased. So I wanted to see myself, oh, what have we done so far? So when I put this is where, I lost it, honestly, council. I was angry to a point that I think even I began to be very disrespectful to some of them, because at the end of the day, I couldn't understand why this was happening in council in a professional environment. And if I look at everyone, they look at me like I'm the one who's mad. Like when I try to explain to them what's going on, like, where is this money? How is this possible? That this is in council's income statement. I'm looking at council's income statement. I'm seeing a discrepancy for the quarter that we have worked, and nobody's worried. So that for me was unacceptable. So it's like, even if I go, whether it's CEO, whether it's Director of Finance, I have no respect anymore for anyone, because when I put the issue there and it's been floating, it just goes like this. Like no one even comes to say, okay, where is this, how is this? Until I had to take the extra step of going to Mr. Jong and tell Mr. Jong, you are our cashier. The money that I'm making, are they not being deposited? Because every time, they come and collect this. And I can see that, although it is showing that it is 200%, but we've made more than this. It should show more than this. It's just not like we have done well, so we should keep quiet. This money should come in. Maybe it should even go to 300%. Jonga is like, I don't know that it's Bakari Singata Lamin Sanyang and Bakari Lamin F. Baji who comes to give me the cash here. I was like, okay, let me see your report. Then Jonga printed out a print for me. I looked through it. I was like, okay, seeing Lamin F. Baji. But when I look at certain figures, I try to look at the figures that Lamin F. Baji is giving to Jonga in terms of cash, and I look at our sales book, they don't tally with any of the day sales. So it's like if we make 15,000, I'll see a deposit of 3,000. You know, believe me, sitting in the dump site is terrible, you know. Sometimes I go, even in the house, my auntie will be like, stay outside. I have to wash first before I enter in. You know, so if you see that money is being disappeared, you get really agitated.
Yes.
You get out of hand. Sometimes you cannot even believe it. So I took the document and I went straight to the internal audit to say, you know what, I'm making money, here are the deposits, but they are not tallying with the deposits at my sales. What can be done? And someone at the internal audit says, in Mandenka, you know,
sorry, Mr. Fati.
So,
please speak English.
Sorry, madam. The internal audit told me, you know, this is how these things are here, you know, we cannot, sometimes we cannot follow this.
And who is that internal audit?
Internal audit, I don't know, but I went to their office in the annex. There was someone there, I don't know the name, and then they told me, I think he's secondary to the director. So I explained to this guy, like...
What year is that?
2020, it was during the time that this was happening.
Okay.
So I did report the case to the internal audit, and they told me that, hey, nothing comes out of this. Simple, just leave it alone. So it seems like they are powerless. In my mind, you know, if I'm the internal audit, I will wage havoc on these people. But they can't do anything, I think. It's like they're just, yeah.
We have had one of the internal auditors, is it Bakari or Basiru? Basiru Jai. He testified here and he echoed similar statements to what you were saying. The idea that they were in fact helpless, they were neutralized at some point, they were disregarded to a point that they become irrelevant.
Yes.
He explained that here. That is the logic. I'm not trying to quote him verbatim, word for word, but that's the logic. That's how I understand it, and I believe that's how the commission has understood it.
Yes.
So he explained something similar to what you are saying with regards to how they were almost not, in fact, in the area council, even though they work for the area council.
Yes.
So your case, it appears, if I listen to you very well, and which I'm really doing keenly, is that you are more disheartened because it's coming from the senior management. The people you call here, they all belong to the senior category.
Yes.
And if they are to do this, and what you collect when you really reconcile or assess your cash book, and what they declare is far more short. You have given an example to say from 15,000 an example a day, and they will probably declare 2,000 or $3,000. That's really gross financial misconduct.
Yes.
Yeah. So there is no way this would not be to the knowledge of the management of KMC. Is there any chance that this will not be to the knowledge of the management of KMC?
This has been echoed across everywhere. When Kemo is angry, the whole KMC knows. So not only the senior management, it went to almost everywhere because that money has to come. Council. That was the reason why senior management, from the CEO to the director of finance to the internal audit, all the way to the Lord Mayor.
The committee all the way to the Lord Mayor?
Yes.
And what was done about it?
Well, they said that there would be investigations, there would be things, but I see that the more persistent I get with these issues, this was when everyone turned against me. You know, automatically when I started talking about this thing, I saw things started to change in council. The first day that I came, when they introduced these ticketing systems, because it's two ways. It's one, corruption on the side, I have a problem with my people. Two, my sales are missing, I have a problem with these guys also. So that puts me in the middle there. So when I was at the site, there was a time, I told the guy to stop using these electronic machines because it's the same principle, that the reason why they are